Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. We are in Bible study. Yep, we are in the NIV, and we will be through all of 2025. But then in 2026, we're going to do the KJV, and we're just going to keep doing different versions of the Bible. We are in the book of Mark. We are in chapter 13, and we are doing 1 through 37. So let's jump in. The signs at the end of an age, or the age, I should say, at the end of the age. What age? We are in the church era. So I would say the end of the church era. But we'll see, right? Chapter 13, verse 1. As he was leaving the temple, one of his disciples said to him, "Look, teacher, what massive stones! What magnificent buildings!" "Do you see all these great buildings?" replied Jesus. "Not one stone will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down." As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives opposite the temple, Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, "Tell us, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign that they are about to be fulfilled?" Jesus said to them, "Watch out that no one deceives you. Many will come in my name, claiming I am he, and will deceive many. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nations will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places and famines. These are the beginning of the birth pains. You must be on your guard, for you will be handed over to the local councils and flogged in the synagogues. On account of me, you will stand before governors and kings as witnesses to them. And the gospel must first be preached to all the nations. Whenever you are arrested and brought to trial, do not worry beforehand about what to say. Just say whatever is given to you at the time, for it is not you speaking, but the Holy Spirit. That's kind of the point. Brother will betray brother to death, and father his child. Children will rebel against their parents and have them put to death. All men will hate you because of me, but he who stands firm in the end will be saved. So you are meant to have strength of conviction in the face of adversity. Which means if you can't even handle that your friends think you're uncool because you don't want to do the sinning, then you don't have any moral fortitude. Right? You need to go pray that out with God, in my opinion. Verse 14. When you see the abomination that just causes desolation, it's actually one whole thing. When you see the abomination that causes desolation, Daniel 9:27, 11:31, and 12:11. Yeah, I'm going to just finish reading all of those, actually. Standing where it be, or he, does not belong. Okay? So understand what that means. He's talking about, someone maybe even in a position of power or something where he just doesn't belong. Let the reader understand. All right. Then let those who are in Judah flee to the mountains. Oh, well, I'm already in the mountains. Of course, I'm not in the mountains of Judah, but I'm already in the mountains. It's okay. Let no one on the roof of his house go down or enter the house to take anything out. Okay. Let no one in the field go back to his cloak. Oh, go back to get his cloak. Okay, you can't. All right, you can't have stuff. If you're called, you can't have. But I want to finish this one more thing. You can't really do that. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that this will not take place in winter. Oh yeah, that would make it even worse. Because those will be days of distress unequaled from the beginning when God created the world until now, and never to be equaled again. Ooh. See, now that's very disturbing for me when you're looking at it from the scientific thing, because when God was first creating the world, because they say this, they talk about this in the various things, which means they've been given some sort of additional fundamental scientific understanding explained to them in when they couldn't possibly understood, because the science didn't exist then. When the world was first created, we were molten rock. Imagine it's like the whole planet, because it was just everything that was coming together and crashing together at such high speeds and an inferno that it was all fire. Like, imagine as if, because there was no oceans yet, it was all lava, if you will. Like, it was all it had to be that hot for it to come together and solidify, to cool, to make the cooling process. There is an atmosphere, and rain happened, and that's what cooled what we now call the earth. And that atmosphere being in place in the making of the rain is where we end up getting, like, say, things like, oceans and different things of this nature, okay? Our natural bodies of water. Because at the bottom of the ocean floor, it's not like you can swim from, you can dive in at one place and swim to the other side of the ocean all the way. Like, no, there's the whole earth in between. You have to go around. You can't go through. Because there's dirt down there, there's ground, there's the ocean floor. Every piece of landmass in existence has a column of something, but usually the size of the landmass. So for the United States, it would be the size of the United States or something close to that, something that, anchors it down to the earth. Or if you kept digging down, you're going to keep hitting something to dig into until you get to the core from where you are. Because otherwise, we wouldn't stay. The whole landmass, if it didn't have that connection to the ocean floor, would sink. And that's not a maybe. Where divers are out there in the ocean, and that's true. So for it to be in a state like it was in the beginning when God made the world, what part of the world? What part of the creation? Like after the atmosphere or before the atmosphere? Because that's of particular interest to me. If the Lord had not cut short those days, no one would survive. But for those sake of the elect whom he has chosen, he has shortened them. At that time, if anyone says to you, look, here is the Christ, see, or Messiah, or look, there he is, do not believe it. For false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform signs and miracles to deceive the elect, if that were possible. Your job is to not be deceivable. So, be on your guard. I have told you everything ahead of time. So we've been pre-warned. But in those days, following that distress, the sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. Okay, so that sounds like an eclipse, but the problem with that was the moon not giving its light. If the sun is behind the moon in the course of an eclipse of the moon, we can see it. The sun is, reflecting off of it. It doesn't look dark. Like in a new moon, we can't see it. It's not that the moon's not there. It's just that it's obstructed from our view, from where we are. Right? The sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky. That's also not good. And the heavenly bodies will be shaken. D. Isaiah 13:10 and 34:4. So that sounds to me more like one of the other planets in our solar system is going to move from where it is and cause chaos. So, because that would cause everything to fall off its axis, and the heavenly bodies around us would look like they are shaking and moving. Of course, it could also be like a comet or something else like that. At the time, men will see the Son of Man coming into the clouds with great power and glory. And he will send his angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of the heavens. So he's not just going to collect the people from here. He's going to send his angels to any planet in the solar system. Because the end of the heavens to us would be, space we can see. Now learn this lesson from the fig tree. As soon as its twigs get tender and its leaves come out, you know that summer is near. Even so, when you see these things happening, you know that it is near, right at the door. I tell you the truth, this generation, or race, will certainly not pass away until all these things have happened. Okay, so heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Okay, so this, human beings will exist until our sun goes supernova or something explodes our earth. Yeah, I buy that. The day and the hour unknown, verse 32. No one knows about the hour or the day. That's true. Not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son. Okay. But only the Father. Be on guard. Be alert. F. Some manuscripts alert and pray. I agree with that. That's part of being on alert. You do not know when that time will come. It's like a man going away. He leaves his house and puts his servants in charge, each one with an assigned task, and he tells the one at the door to keep watch. Therefore, keep watch, because you do not know when the owner of the house will come back, whether in the evening or at midnight or when the rooster crows or at dawn. If he comes suddenly, do not let him find you sleeping. What I say to you, I say to everyone. Watch. Oh, okay. I agree. Watch. Watch. Watch how you interact with your world. Watch how you behave with others. Watch what kind of energy you're putting out. What kind of expectations that you or others might have of yourself or others. Because that really does make the difference between one thing and another. No matter what we might want to tell ourselves about how if I'm crappy right now with our moral equivocations, it's okay because I was all right yesterday or was good 5 minutes ago or this morning and I'll make it up tomorrow or next week or whatever. You don't actually know if you have all that time or not, right? Because you don't know when your particular end is coming, let alone when any of that's going to happen. Because whatever is going to happen, what they're basically saying is their human beings will not be able to stop other planets from falling off their axis. When God wants to bring an end, he brings an end. And he not going to stop and ask us if we're ready. We're supposed to stay ready, so we don't have to get ready. Which means, make sure you're conducting yourself in the world that if you had to suddenly meet Jesus today, you have no reason to be ashamed of your behavior.